welcome to the Zadzooks Happy Hour, a podcast providing commentary on the latest in film, TV, games, and comics. My name is Todd Stoll, and I'm joined by 25-year veteran reporter covering pop culture, video games, and technology for the Washington Times, Joseph Zadkowski. Okay, so
Santa came early.
Santa came early this year, and we have our first sort of really official unboxing.
Yes.
A surprise unboxing, if you will, because I don't think you realized that this was coming.
No, Activision and Bungie were very good to us on this.
Yeah, I'm excited.
There's a new game.
Well, let's start. I would say about 9 months ago.
Yeah.
A little bit more than that. We spent a couple weeks reviewing Destiny.
And it was the expansion pack.
Yes, it was
There was some sort of war going on again.
Yes.
It was new planet.
New planet. It was a new planet with upgraded weapons. Remember, I think we had like unlimited everything.
Right. And if you got upgraded right away,
yes,
right?
Exactly. So you were kind of running everything.
Yeah.
And we spent a couple weeks and we focused on that over 2 episodes. And on Friday, I think it was Friday, Destiny 2 dropped in stores.
Yes.
And I think it maybe was Thursday midnight when it was sort of coming out. And so we were expecting to get some codes to run through it, and instead, what did we get?
We got the Destiny 2 Collector's Edition.
So we're going to do
which is pretty cool.
We're going to do an unboxing. You've already unboxed one.
Yes, so you're just going to do it.
This is just me doing it.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I see is as you open the box, it's very heavy, and the box itself is put together extraordinarily well. Now, the actual asking price for this, if you want to buy this in stores, is $249.99. So the first thing that you see is this sort of almost like a sheath for a sword, if you will, and it's got a shield pressed on it. It's not metal, but it's some sort of a composite that's made to seem like metal.
Aluminum?
It's a hard aluminum if it's in there. But if you open it up, inside is a Bluetooth speaker, charger.
Solar panel powered, supposedly. Remember, we're unboxing this, so we're making this up as we go along. And we're not really making it up.
So this is very cool. It's got...
solar panel USB charger with built-in light.
Very cool. It's got a lot of the Destiny symbols on it, and it's sort of broken out in different sections. It looks like, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think you can take it apart, but it actually slides into this sort of protective case. And according to the illustration on the back of the box, the case can be attached to something that's in the box and carried around. So we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. This is very cool. I have no idea what the relevance is to Destiny on it, other than the fact it looks really cool and it looks somewhat futuristic. And I'll be curious to see when we actually plug it in and try it out what it looks like, but that's very cool. So I will put that back in the box here, or inside its little mini case. So that's the first thing that you see when you open the box, and it's really in there. It seals very well. I would say it's probably waterproof. It seems that way. So the next thing we have is a book, and on the book itself, there's a front and back cover. There's a lot of, this is actually really well done because it's an embossed cardboard. Inside the book, you've got...
Is it Secrets to the Cabal Empire? Is that what it's... I've got a listing of things that...
Yeah.
Hand me the back. The back. Yeah.
There you go. Inside it is a number of things.
Yes, the Cabal-themed collector's box. A Cabal booklet. Military pawns.
This is
postcard
really,
images.
This is really well made. This is like 100-pound cover paper, really thick stock with maybe like a 70-pound... glossy paper insert. This is not cheap. Just in this little booklet alone. There's also appears to be a poster. Yep. Sort of like a big, not a big, but I would say it's maybe like a 2x3 poster, front and back. Very cool.
Lots of symbols again.
Again, the paper is really thick. I think it'd be something you'd probably have a hard time tearing. You've got metal pieces in here well, they're not metal, but
pawns.
They're meant to be different pawn pieces. There's I really don't know how you would describe these, honestly. One is like almost like a deformed ring.
It's like something you'd see in a game.
Yeah, it's like if you were
like a board game.
Yeah, but they're very cool, and they're inside foam.
We'll just call them Monopoly pieces.
Yeah, they're like Monopoly pieces. Does it say on the box what they are?
No.
Some beautifully illustrated renderings of a creature on a really thick stock. It's not quite a postcard size. It's a little bit smaller. It's maybe like 6 inches by 8 inches, but still very cool.
This is a Cabal lenticular you're going to look at next?
Yeah. We've got almost like a business card, although I think it's a sticker, and then you've got one of these. It's a sticker that if you move it back and forth, you can see different symbols on it, which is also very cool. And that
probably would have been a good idea to actually figure out what the heck the Cabal is. It sounds like bad guys, right?
It does. It does.
Wait, aren't those the guys we fought on Mars?
I believe they are. So, as you're
they're the war rhinos. Remember those guys?
Yeah, the ones that were really annoying.
The guys that looked like from The Fifth Element.
Yes, and they were fairly easy to kill.
Yes,
but there was just a lot of them.
Big.
But anyway, this is like a cardboard-bound book. Inside is a custom-fit foam piece, and that contains quite a bit of information. It's not terribly heavy, but it would look awesome on a bookshelf. And then just checking here, the third item is a steel book of the actual media for the game itself.
Sure.
And that is fairly steel and nice and solid, and got some also really great etching in it on the steel on the front and back. It's got the Destiny 2 logo with just a lot of really cool design elements to it. It's in a really nice textured dark, or almost like a lightish gray with some dark flecks in it. Also something that would look very cool on a bookshelf. So
that's got the base game in it, and there's a code in there for the expansion packs that are going to come up. Plus, I think they throw in a couple of weapons.
And underneath the actual media is the USB charger for the solar speaker system that it has. So now you told me to wait and not open this part up, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. There are two straps, which if you lift up, unveil a lower compartment to it. And so we're going to go ahead and just lift this bad boy up, and that is cool as hell. Oh my goodness.
That is officially called...
That is
a customizable bag.
That is the coolest...
It's worn by a
messenger bag I have ever seen. I mean,
a frontier bag worn by Hawthorne, who's a character, obviously.
How amazing is this?
I think they went out of their way on this one.
This is beautiful. Wow. I mean, we're talking heavy, heavy denim.
Stitched,
some stitched leather on denim. You've got heavy buckles.
Look at this. Wait till you see this part.
Oh, dude, the shoulder strap is ridiculous. That's like real
gorgeous,
beautiful leather. Everything is with like heavy duty press buttons that connect it. It's really solid.
Strap.
The straps are like military grade straps with a nice solid, almost like a brass fitting to it. And so if you open it up, it's got like 3 different compartments in it, all of which are, again, sealed with these sort of jean buttons that are really hard to open, but that's in some ways really nice. A nice heavy-duty zipper if you were to put like credit cards or something in it. There's another, a magnetic connection if you wanted to slide an iPad or something in there. There's another strap, which is, again, really hard to open, but I don't mind that at all.
The bag can be configured 3 possible ways. Instructions inside.
Inside the bag.
Maybe. I pulled these. Is there anything else in there?
I'm looking.
Adjustable straps. adjustable shoulder bag.
I don't see it, but I mean, this is like a kick-ass messenger bag. I mean, it's definitely not waterproof, but
here it is.
But people are going to notice it.
I can't read that from.
So let's see. So you can configure it as a backpack, as a messenger bag, or as a sling bag.
Wow.
And there are straps that can be removed and replaced. That is wicked. I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
What a beautiful, just an amazing unit. I mean, delivered in a really heavy-duty box. I mean, it's got like some weathering to the straps where it looks like sweat.
Wow.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Like battle fatigue.
Totally battle fatigue. The back, look at these straps. They're like military grade straps. Really heavy duty. I mean, this is why you're spending $250. This messenger bag has got to cost a fortune to produce. I mean,
if you figure the game's $60 and you figure the expansion pack's probably another $30.
If I get a Timbuktu messenger bag, which everybody has, right? They're $129.99 to get a good one.
Easily.
This thing, no offense, I love my Timbuktu. This thing is so thick and heavy.
And the cool thing about it is you'll have a story with it. Someone will go, "Wow, where'd you get that? What
bag?"
is that?
And be like, "That's Destiny 2, man."
Yeah.
So
go play the game.
I mean, the pockets in this thing are really thick.
Impressive.
Again, strapping everything in. It's like Levi jean straps. You got to put some weight into it, and you can hear it pop. And then trying to open it again, I don't mind that. I don't mind having to force it open. It also looks like there's a couple of them that are adjustable. So if you wanted to take advantage of pulling down part of it, it looks like you can give it a little bit extra. It's a center pocket, which I don't really know what you would use that for. Maybe for a cell phone.
Yeah,
cell phone could fit in there. You could fit. It looks like you could almost fit a small tablet in one pocket. Definitely like credit cards or keys or something in another, and it zips up a really thick, almost like a leather jacket or a really, really heavy denim zipper.
Right.
And it's got a big pocket for a tablet, which is magnetic, and then
I love this part here.
The front of this thing, I mean, we'll take pictures and post them. I mean, this is just beautiful.
It's the logo of something.
It's probably the Resistance logo.
The Resistance logo, and it's got a metal logo on top of the Resistance logo, so like it was on purpose.
And the metal sort of raised emblem has the same shield that is on the container that holds the solar USB component. This is like a different kind, but again, you've got that sweat, that really cool, and it's got little areas where you could like put pencils or whatever you wanted in it, and then there's the leather piece that comes over to it, and it's connects inside to the magnetic
beautiful
piece.
Blue and a beautiful
totally etched
design.
I mean,
this is crazy.
The ends, the sides have an area, again, really heavy opening just on the sides if you wanted to put something in one side. Wow, home run.
Yeah,
I'm very impressed.
And we haven't even played the damn game yet.
This is just the unboxing.
I mean, that's edition. I've spent maybe 5 minutes starting with the game,
But what was the cool thing that you found?
Well,
just in the 5 minutes?
Character carried over. I've had this kick-ass character for a while. He kind of looks like Grand Admiral Thrawn's bodyguard. Not the weird bodyguard. If he had a bodyguard with blue skin. But anyway, I got this great character that I cannot wait to get into action. I just started having him shoot things. So
there's totally different instructions for the Frontier bag. It looks like maybe they're in 2 different languages. It looks like it's in...
Tell them what you get in this thing, too, because I can't in the...
So what you get is you get the original content package. You also get the expansion pass for the Winter 2017 and Spring 2018 expansions 1 and 2. You get the exotic weapon called Cold Heart. And you also get premium digital content. You get a legendary emote, a legendary sword, and a cable-themed emblem. And this is, it's got a QR code on the back, which you can scan, which will give you the 25-digit code, and you can redeem that at xbox.com/redeem code. Requires However, 68 gigabytes of storage.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get the game started real fast. Even with the disc, that took me about a good half hour to get it loaded.
And then this says, by downloading the software, blah, 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 blah. Download code, valid one-time use, requires broadband, not packaged for individual resale, requires Destiny 2 sold separately. So you're getting that. And boy, I got to tell you, even the Steelbook, opening it up on the inside, they spared no detail. The artwork that's carried over matches the disc itself. The disc itself is like pretty stuck in there. I will say it's pretty solid. This thing is not going to pop off, which is really nice. This is probably one of the coolest sort of higher end releases I've ever seen in terms of a product coming out. I mean, bravo.
It gives you reason to want to dive into the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is you know, you don't want to sound like sort of cocky about it, but if they're delivering a product like this, you know they know the game is good. Right. I mean,
you don't put a piece of garbage out.
No, I mean you're not sending
that
kind of a messenger bag and all this other cool swag with this. So is it worth $299 or $249.99? I think so. I mean, that bag alone is ridiculous.
It's worth it if you have been a fan of this mythology. It's as equally worth it if you, let's say, had been a fan of Star Wars and they came out with that kind of type of bag for that. Same idea.
You know what this kind of reminds me of, too, is a little bit of, you know, you're seeing a lot of people doing crates now.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of that. It's almost like you're getting the game and you're getting this cool loot crate, and you get to unbox it and see what's inside.
Right.
Because even though...
Yeah, because there's a little bit of everything, right?
It's a little bit... I mean, it's very cool. And it's so... It's not flimsy. Like, this was expensive to put together. There is no question. I think, honestly... with the game and with all the materials in here, I don't think they're making a lot of money off of it. I mean, obviously, the game is just a piece of media, but this could have very easily, I mean, depending on how many they produce, this could easily cost them $250.
Right.
But they spared no detail. It's really cool. We'll make sure that we get a lot of images. You can check them out on ZadzooksHappyHour.com. We'll make sure to post them there. But I am really blown away by this. This is very cool.
Cool.
So kudos to
Activision
and Bungie. And we'll be playing this, and I think we'll be able to talk about the actual game next week. So I'm very excited about that. Got anything else?
No, I think that's a good breaking point.
Okay. All right, well, when we come back... we're going to talk about Baywatch, the extended edition.
Yes.
And
to really bring things down. So if you feel like you got to bail at this point,
it's okay. We won't hold it against you. Just make sure that you check us out online.
Yes.
And we're
for the love of Mike.
And if you want to stick around and hear about Baywatch, then it's, you know, it's your own, prove your own portion, I guess. We'll be back.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
So, should we like...
Are we on the air now?
Should we like play the music in the background like we're slow motion running?
Tripping
and falling?
I'm really glad I didn't watch this after listening to you talk for 10 seconds.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't mind watching a terrible movie. I'm actually one of those people who somewhat enjoys watching a terrible movie just so that I can rip on it afterwards.
Like Chips?
Chips, yeah. I mean, it had its funny moments.
Masterminds, though I pushed you into that.
Still, Masterminds is my 2017 worst movie of the year. So
it goes beyond 2017, doesn't it?
It might be the worst movie of the 2010s.
20th century?
The 2010s. No. There's been worse movies than that. So I volunteered to watch Baywatch, the extended cut, because I was interested in it. And to no one's surprise, it was not a very good movie. It stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who can do no wrong, in my opinion.
He's hit a lot of home runs.
He has. Zac Efron, who also has done quite a bit, although Dirty Grandpa was not a very good movie either.
Don't tell me you watched that,
I
too.
did.
Okay.
I did, and
Oy.
it had De Niro in it.
That's not saying much these days, my friend.
I mean, and then you have Alexandra Daddario. She was in True Detective Season 1. She's the mistress to Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And, of course, you have David Hasselhoff, who actually has speaking lines in this movie.
And who is he?
He
Is he a famous paranormal investigator?
So they're both...
Debunker?
No. So The Rock plays Mitch, who was the name of the main character, and Hasselhoff also plays Mitch, who is Mitch's mentor.
Okay,
so you're with me.
Yeah.
Also appearing in this movie, but having 0 lines, was Pamela Anderson.
Is she a cab driver?
No,
Okay.
she becomes their director at the end, but she says nothing. She just looks there, and everyone says, "Is she moving in slow motion?"
How does she look?
She's had some work done.
Okay.
There's a lot of lip collagen.
Maybe she can't speak.
I don't know. And then there's as soon as the credits roll, there's a piece where Hasselhoff was like, "Why wasn't I in the movie more?" And he's like, "Oh, The Rock says you'll be in the sequel. If there's a sequel to this, please shoot me."
So Hasselhoff was better in Guardians of the Galaxy too.
No, you know what? His performance, I would say, was pretty. He actually, I thought, did pretty well in both movies. He kind of made it, but this movie dragged on and on and on. There was a lot of penises.
Yep.
There was a substantial amount of like sexual innuendos, a lot of staring at the opposite sex, just a lot of ridiculousness. They're lifeguards, but they think they're police officers, so they've sort of taken this weird stance on it.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to figure out who's dealing drugs on the beach. I laughed at a few moments of it, one being Zac Efron at the end, as the credits are getting ready to roll and the famous music is playing from the TV show. They're all slow running down the beach, and Efron bites it and lands face first in the sand. I did laugh
So
at
that's
that.
all it takes to get you to giggle. Is that it?
I mean, you would think it would be more than that.
The banana slip, basically?
I mean, it did look...
A riff on the banana slip?
The reason I laughed was because I'm not entirely certain that it wasn't like it was an unscripted thing.
Okay.
It seemed like the other guys legitimately were laughing at him as he bit it.
Okay.
But you have somebody else playing Pamela Anderson's character. They're running out into the water. Efron's character is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist burnout who's like a drunk and a drug addict, and the movie evolves, and eventually he comes together and joins the family. It's like a really bad version of Fate of the Furious.
Got it.
Yeah. So I watched the unedited extended version. On the Blu-ray, there is theatrical and extended, and we always go extended
Just
here.
to punish yourself?
Yeah, because you never know.
Right.
The special features, I'll just read them here because I glossed over them so quickly. Meet the Lifeguards, nothing. Continuing the legacy, I don't know why it's a legacy that needs to be continued. Stunts and training, again, I mean, somewhat interesting, and then deleted and extended scenes. They didn't need to add that in there. And
no gag reel?
The gag reel was a part of the credits, and there was nothing funny about it. Nothing funny. Just rough. This movie is a rated R or unrated film. It clocks in at 116 minutes.
Wow.
For the rated version, and 121 for the unrated version. This
2 hours.
Yeah. This and it drags. It really does. And I would like to point out that Matthew Jussum of Men's Fitness says it was straight up hilarious fun. So
don't ever listen.
I'm confident that maybe there were some like
payoffs
there. I have no idea. It's just it's a weirdly long movie, and it tries really hard to take itself seriously, but also to make fun at the original. And it doesn't do either justice. So this movie is a D. It is not as bad as Masterminds. It's right there with Chips in terms of bad. But I watched it. I don't necessarily regret it. I don't feel like I want my time back. It's just I would never watch it again. It was bad, and I would tell other people don't bother.
Right.
So there you have
Okay.
it. That's all I can say.
That's fine.
And I'm disappointed in you, Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
This is not.
But usually, it was probably a better idea in the beginning.
Oh,
it was, it was my idea, but I don't think much of it.
It just seemed like it almost at times seemed like it was being rewritten as it was being filmed.
So really, once we get past 21 Jump Street, which in effect was funny, the first one.
I loved it. I loved 21 and 22
when
Jump
they
Street.
jumped into this stuff, Chips and Baywatch and all, it's just not working.
I mean, I can't say that the acting was bad because it wasn't.
Right.
The Rock is very comfortable
So the
on
script
screen.
was terrible.
It just was not a good movie. It just dragged. I mean, they do their quote unquote saving people, but I mean, then again, Baywatch was sort of this like really weird, hokey TV show anyway that everyone just loved,
Right.
and primarily because of the bikinis and everything.
Right.
But it's hard to take something that's been around for 20 plus years that's still syndicated in every country in the world and try to reimagine it and not do it with a very good script.
Sure.
So that's my critique of it. But
Okay.
take it for what it's worth. If you want to watch people scantily clad running down the beach for 2 hours and you're okay with dick jokes and all that stuff, then I guess this is your movie. Give it a shot. So
He said it.
I did.
All right. That was a hell of a review, by the way.
I appreciate it. I'll take one for the team.
I've heard
anytime.
many a review, and I can't believe you dove into that.
Thank
so.
you. Hey, you got to give every movie a chance. I mean,
What you're telling me this now? Let's put this in context, okay? I studied film at Northwestern and got my degree in it. I was the guy at 2:00 in the morning placing lights on crappy film shoots, industrial film shoots. So I always feel bad when I rip a movie because you know what? No movie starts being bad.
I mean,
they don't unless you're Mel Brooks and the producers. You don't intentionally go into a project going, "Man, I want to create the worst movie possible."
right.
And it's a bummer when you spend that much money and it just
and it
doesn't
can be a
hit.
number of things. It can be bad writing. It can be bad editing.
There's a million reasons, right?
Or somebody phones it in.
Right.
I mean, the acting wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. Yeah.
I think this has got to be script. If you can't put together...
it's just long. It's just long, and there's a lot of it that's not fun.
I know.
Sorry. All right. So we'll be back in just a minute.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
Hey, we're back.
Whoa.
Man.
Shot out of a cannon there. So box office. I'm gonna put my my thinking cap on here, and I'm gonna say that it is probably going to be number one at the box office. Am I right?
Oh yeah, clowns rule right now. By the way,
so
it and the new American Horror Story
is that
has a lot of clowns going on.
So did you see the thing that they're really worried about those random teenagers who are dressing up as clowns, like coming out of the woods again and scaring people?
No, but somebody's going to get shot. That's all I got to say.
I mean, it's going to happen eventually, right? Somebody's not going to tolerate that. So this movie looks as creepy as it can possibly be.
Good.
And
good, because I really, over the career of Stephen King, his cinematic adaptations have not been stellar.
Well, which ones did you like?
Well, once we get past The Shining,
did you like Pet Sematary?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Isn't his Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was, but it was a deeply B
but,
level.
But here's the thing: do you think The Shining is a good movie because it's a Stephen King movie, or do you think?
No,
because
I think it's a good movie because
it's Stanley Kubrick
and great acting.
Yeah, I mean Kubrick makes that movie creepy.
And it's okay that you can't translate his stuff into movies.
Yeah.
And I think Dark Tower was a total bomb. Wasn't that just released?
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay if you're a great writer.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just hard to put that.
So what did it open at on Friday? 50 million?
Yeah, 51 million.
51 million. $51 million for a horror movie.
Right.
It's got one of the kids from Stranger Things. It's got one of the kids who's been in a couple it was in a Bill Murray movie and was in that movie I really liked that no one else did called Midnight Express with Michael Shannon. But this movie is going to destroy. This movie is probably going to hold for a couple weeks, I think. It's got we don't know a lot about it yet because we haven't seen it. I know you probably will see it because you're a horror fan film.
I love horror.
Would you see it in the theater though? That's a litmus test.
No.
Your kid will see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Guardians is now underneath Wonder Woman.
But that happened.
Did it happen already?
Yeah, it happened a couple weeks ago because. Or maybe even a couple months ago because Chris Pratt posted something.
Oh, that he was bummed?
Well, no, it was like it was a picture of Wonder Woman, and it was basically like giving props to them for being number one. And we'll have that movie, I believe, in a week or two, where we'll be sitting down and reviewing the 4K and the Blu-ray on that.
And Beauty and the Beast is still in the lead by 100 million.
An unnecessary.
Good old Disney.
Well, and they just announced that the live action cast of Aladdin. And did you see who's playing Genie? Will Smith.
No.
You can't replace Robin Williams, man.
You can't. Not at all. So
I'm so
whatever.
bummed by that.
Good luck with that.
What are they going to do? Are they going to CGI him, or are they going to paint his skin blue? Like Michael Rooker in Guardians.
In Guardians, I don't know.
I'm not excited about that.
Alien Covenant did not make a lot of money.
No, it did not.
Oh boy.
Which would explain why we didn't think it was that great of a movie.
Wow. Baywatch made 58 million. That definitely covered its expenses, wouldn't you think?
Probably. They only shot in one place on the beach.
That's true.
And the special effects.
I digress.
Okay.
All right, so let's get excited for Destiny 2.
We're going to get really excited for Destiny 2. We'll talk about that next week. We're starting to hit the fall cinematic area.
We
got
The Mummy.
I think Close Encounters.
Close Encounters, E.T.
Yep.
I want to go over not the Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. Season 3.
We've got Stranger Things coming out on Halloween.
All the TV stuff dumped, so I got a lot of that coming.
Yep. And we've got, as I said, Wonder Woman.
Yep.
And
I just got the Spider-Man Homecoming. That's going to be October-ish.
Okay. There's lots of good stuff coming out. This is the time of year when we get really excited because this is when, between now and Christmas, is when everything really comes out.
Unloading. So anyway.
So again, just to recap, Destiny unboxing, home run, really cool. We'll have a review of the game next week. Baywatch, not so much. And that's all I got. My name is Todd Stowell.
I'm Joe Zedkowski.
Oh, well, that was a long delay. By the way, I forgot to ask, did you have your nap today?
I always get I didn't get my nap yesterday. I was very busy playing music.
Okay. And how was it? Joe's in a band, by the way.
There was a tremendous response.
Really?
From the bar. The crowd showed up in pockets.
Okay.
So it got better as the night. It reached a pinnacle during our Billy Idol cover version of Rebel Yell.
Nice.
When people took to the stage and started dancing, which was kind of frightening because in the old days, if people did that on my band, my guitar player would take a guitar and hit them in the head with it. So that didn't happen this time, but it was a very exciting moment for the band.
And yes. And
that's all I got to say.
Joe is a very talented drummer.
Thank you.
And
I don't think you've ever seen me play, though. So.
I have seen you play.
That's right.
I have seen you play. And I didn't realize you were playing, or I probably would have come.
No.
Yeah, you weren't that far away, were you? Where were you?
We were at Gentleman Jim's up in that air park area. where that is?
In
Gaithersburg?
Yeah, I could have come. I would have come.
Okay, I'll invite you next time.
Well,
I know you're very busy.
I saw
you have
it
a
on
family of many commitments.
And I'm sitting in. At night I sit down and I always stew about Ghostbusters and then I go to bed.
Then I need to get you out. Okay, that's fine.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week again. Check us out, ZadzooksHappyHour.com.
Wow,
YouTube.
that was a whole segment in itself there.
YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, on your Amazon Alexa. We are everywhere. We're like, we're like that disease that you get that you want to get rid of and you just can't. And no medicine in the world is going to happen. We're here and we're not going anywhere. So
we're like cockroaches.
Yeah, yeah. We only come out at night.
We only come out at night.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
All right.
All right.
Later.